Hey, good afternoon to all my friends, family, listening or viewing this on social media. Happy Hump Day. And today we're going to be talking about the lending process and a couple things to just be prepared for, whether you're looking to purchase a home a couple months from now or a couple years from now even. Makes the process a lot simpler, I should say, a lot less hiccups to go through. Makes everybody's job a lot easier when the client's more educated and more prepared as well. And gives you a better idea of where you fit and where your timeline may or may not be. Maybe it's a little pushed up and a lot quicker than you may have anticipated. Maybe it may take a little longer or be right on schedule. So nevertheless, the first thing, and these are in no specific order, that they're looking for is work history. So you do want to have a couple of years of consecutive work history, so 2 years. Does not have to be in the same industry, but you do want to have those W-2 stubs. If you're self-employed, that's going to be a whole nother video. School, maybe just started in a career, different guidelines for that as well. And again, you may want to speak to a qualified lender so they can let you know how that would work out. Now, and this is just going to be general guidelines. Credit score is another thing that plays a role. Different lenders, depending on the loan, depending on who they work with, require different scores. But generally, the higher the score you have, the better the rates you get. So, which makes sense. So, a good app to download is Credit Karma. It will give you, a general idea of where you guys stand in the process. Again, it is not perfect. It only reports 2 out of the 3 bureaus. So, but it's a good way to be proactive, get started, and maybe know how many collection items you may need to clean up, delinquencies, maybe even a late payment that wasn't late actually, and maybe an inaccuracy. We have a couple credit repair specialists we work with, and they tell me all the time that a lot of the time, typically about 80% of the clients they deal with have some type of inaccuracy, on their report that they may have not even been aware of. So definitely give you a heads up, if nonetheless, and get you more proactive so that you're ready when the time comes. And another thing they look for is debt to income ratio. So typically you'd be under a certain percentage, and that would be, the guideline is 43%. Some lenders may actually want a little cushion and maybe want you a little under that. Different things that play a factor in the role with debt to income is car payments, collections, credit cards, student loans is a big one with a lot of my friends as well. And that's something, again, that you may want to get in contact with a lender and just find out exactly where you stand as far as the debt to income as well. And that will give you a better idea of your timeline as well. So, and maybe come up with a game plan to be able to get that stuff resolved. So, and then another thing a lot of people have questions about is down payment assistance. While there are programs that do help out up to $15,000 worth for your down payment, and some of them will get you to the closing table with no money down. There are pros and cons to these, and this is where you want to reach out to a lender, get a little more educated, because it's not for everyone. So it does work out for some people, and they can kind of educate you and tailor that to your situation to see if it's something that would work out for you guys well. So just to kind of recap, in this video, again, it wasn't meant to go too in-depth, just to give you a general idea. Want to have work history, want to have your credit score, anything cleaned up that maybe you need to cleaned up, and like I said, if your timeline is a little further out, you can get that process started now and be proactive. Want to have a better understanding of your debt to income ratio so that you don't take on any new things in the process of getting approved, or even while you're on the way there to try to get approved if this is your goal in the short term. And then lastly, down payment, and then depending on the type of loan you use, whether it's FHA, VA, conventional, USDA, some of them require a lot less down payment than others. Again, there are pros and cons to all of them, which is where you would want to speak to a qualified lender. And everybody's situation is different, so one may or may not work for you. No two situations are going to always be the same. So this is where you want to start that process and get educated, and then you can know whether what exactly you need to automate for your down payment for the future, or if maybe friends and family will be helping you out with that, or just to give you a general idea and help you establish an adequate timeline. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. whether that's through social media, if you have my number, through email. If you have more questions about credit repair, I have specific people I deal with for that. And if you just have more questions on the lending process, I'll answer any ones that I can within my realm of knowledge. And if not, I'll definitely send you to a lender with years of experience. Again, there are several, but ones that really know the industry well, and I would be happy to educate you on the process. And I do want to thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.